Cisco and AUI Section 4 Post-Assessment, Implementing Automation for Meraki Devices. Where can the license information be found in the Cisco Meraki dashboard? So I'm just gonna think logically here. License information, right? In Meraki, licensing is done per organization, right? So it shouldn't be my profile because that means like one user and user doesn't have any licenses associated with them. And this user may have multiple organizations and these organizations may have different licenses, right? Makes sense. So here, network-wide general or wireless license, license is not bound to anything wireless specifically. I think this should be the correct answer. Under organization, there is license info because license info is bound to the organization. Which HTTP method and URL would you use to retrieve the organization ID? Okay, of course it will be get, right? And then HTTPS api.meraki.com/API/v0. v0 is now outdated. The current version of API is v1, and then organizations. I think this is the correct answer. This one is incorrect because it doesn't have the API as part of the domain name, and it should have. Which header key name is used to identify the access token? Okay, so for authentication, Meraki uses the API key, which is passed through a custom header, which is called X Cisco Meraki API key. What is the name of the Cisco Meraki Python SDK that can be downloaded from PEEP? Okay, so this may be very tricky because there are a couple of them, right? I do not recall exactly, but there are a few of them, or at least two of them, which one of them is older, which I believe is Meraki SDK, but another one is called just simply Meraki library as opposed to Meraki SDK. And this is kind of properly, fully supported directly by Cisco. So I guess Meraki should be the correct answer here. So there is definitely both of them, like the first two. Meraki-SDK is there, and just Meraki is there. While course may have been focused around Meraki SDK, which is a bit older one, this is definitely the correct answer right now. And whatever the course says, or this test says, I claim this to be the correct answer. Which status code response from the API call indicates too many requests? So this is not specifically related to Meraki. This is just a general HTTP status code of 429, means API rate limit exceeded, or too many requests, as it's also called. How many API calls can an organization make per second against the Cisco Meraki dashboard API? I suspect it is 10, but I may be wrong. Match each acronym to the respective product family. Meraki Video, okay, these are video cameras, MV series. Meraki Security, this is MX devices, security appliances. Meraki Wireless is MR, where R stands for radio. And Meraki Switching is MS, pretty straightforward. Which key describes the type of problem that Cisco Meraki webhook is reporting? It is called alert type, right? Yeah, this is just one thing to remember. Which statement regarding the Cisco Meraki external captive portal configuration is true? All right, I have lapped heavily the external captive portals. An external captive portal can be configured per SSID, and this is correct right away. Each SSID can be independently configured for an external captive portal. Okay, let's see others. An external captive portal allows the requester to access the network if no response is received from the server. External captive portal. No, that's not how it works, right? So the external captive portal is served by an external web server, and also authentication should happen on the external server. And if there is no response, there will be no authentication for the client. An external captive portal is configured for all SSIDs. This is not correct. This conflicts with the first option, which is correct, I believe. An external captive portal uses a secret message for public server verification. Probably not. It doesn't use a secret message or anything like that. Which part of the Cisco Meraki webhooks configuration field is optional? So shared secret, URL, name, none of the above. Okay. I believe, of course, URL is required for webhook where to send the information. Name, I think, is required. Shared secret is optional. I think if there is no shared secret, there will be just kind of it will be just like that without additional authentication, which is kind of fine for webhooks because they are only sent from one place to another, which they've been configured to. Yeah. Okay. What is the name of the configuration section where the IP of the publicly hosted captive portal is entered? So it is walled garden, I believe. So because IP of the maybe it's a different thing. So there is definitely such thing as a walled garden. And I believe this is the correct answer here because walled garden is the area of the network, or rather the IP addresses or host names, which clients can reach through Meraki Cloud, Meraki Network, when they connect to the network before they authenticate, right? And this is the setting in order to enable clients to actually reach the external captive portal, which is hosted in this walled garden. So basically the idea here is the garden where they can roam around, access some stuff, but not go beyond the wall. What is the key that is returned from the Cisco Meraki Wireless Health API that identifies at which point the failure occurred? So at which point, I believe in this context means not the point in time, so this should not be the failed at option, that should be failure step. Failure step is the name of a step in client connection process. So that could be kind of authentication, or that could be retrieving an IP address, or that could be accessing a DNS server. So things like that. And this should be reflected in the failure step. Match the MVSense API to its description. Okay, that should be easy. Provides a sub-second feed of people and their locations. That's real-time feed. Okay, sub-second or real-time. Provides information about how many people the camera detected at a particular time. So this is a historical perspective. And provides information about how many people are in the camera's view at this moment. That is, of course, current snapshot. How can location analytics data be presented for better visualization? Location analytics data for better visualization. The data can be overlaid on a floor plan or Google Map. That is correct, right? That's definitely a good answer here because we can see then where people spend more time, how they move around the location, the premises, like for example a retail store, stuff like that. And I clearly recall that Meraki supports both custom uploaded floor plans as well as just using a Google Map. Other options are the data can be converted to location coordinates. The requester must apply it on the Google Map. That probably can be done. at least programmatically, but why you should bother? Because in the dashboard, you can use Google Maps right away. The data can be converted to pie charts. Why? Does make sense? Or JSON format. I mean, probably it can be exported in JSON format, but that's not how you do a better visualization, right? How does the Cisco Meraki scanning API confirm that a specified server expects traffic? Okay, the validator string is used for verification. That rings a bell. The secret message is used for verification, and access token is used for verification. The IP of the server must be placed on the allow list to pass the verification. So scanning API specified server expects traffic. All right. So basically, we feed data from, or kind of we ask the Meraki cloud to feed data through scanning API to some server, right? Like a stream of this data. I feel like it's a validator string. It's basically a value to authenticate it. So the server should be kind of able to expect this information. How does Cisco Meraki export location analytics data? Export location analytics data using the HTTP GET method, put, post, or patch. Location analytics. I assume, and I guess you just request this location analytics data, and logically it would make sense to use the GET method for this, right? Okay, I'll go with that. All right, 14 out of 16 are correct. Let it be it.